in bed, get out that bed, and tag a friend and tell them that the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club is on. And this program is being brought to you as part of the New Image Project at a Community Development and Training Center, aka See That.
See that.
And we like to thank y'all for tuning in, helping us to redefine what's cool, because smart is
the new gangster.
And if you don't know,
now you know.
No, baby.
If you don't know, now you know.
Now you know. You have officially been informed and hopefully inspired. What's good, man?
Oh man, the work is good.
Yeah.
Big shots out to everybody doing something. Everybody taking their time to move the ball.
Yes, I agree.
If this was like a football analogy,
okay,
everybody who's making the chains move, getting the first down,
the change makers making change, moving the ball.
That's right.
I appreciate that.
You know, we're going into the playoffs.
Many hands make light.
Yes. The African proverb.
It lightens the load for sure. Many hands lighten the load for sure, man. So yeah. So shout out to Tony Charles, man, Don J, Sister Hughes, the whole 99 Jams family, man. Super Dave, Old School Flavor Show, and everybody involved.
The voice of the people,
the voice of King Jab. Yeah, AD been holding it down for a long time.
Yes, Adrian West.
Yes. If it ain't one thing,
it's another. It's another. That song he made, that he imprinted that song into my subconscious.
You know, somebody said that about Wake Up. They say when they hear the Wake Up song,
they think about us. Hey, we thinking about you too.
Yeah. We thinking about you too. We appreciate y'all, man. We appreciate y'all. So I went to the mayor's city on tour last night.
Yes, I missed it.
Oh man, it was amazing, man. Really, really great turnout. They said it was the best turnout of any of the other ones that they've done.
Yeah, because we involved.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to Charles Park Neighborhood Association. Charles Park Neighborhood
and District 7, like District
7 stand
D7 showed up in a real big way, man. So
the entire District 7.
So thank y'all for that.
From 16th Street to 49th Street.
58th.
No, past 49th.
You go to 58th, yeah.
Wow.
And 5th Avenue North.
Hey man, big shout out to Gulfport too.
Yeah.
We see out with that 49th Street thing with council members.
Yeah, shout out to Fancy Nancy too, man.
Man, big shouts out to Fancy Nancy standing in the paint.
Yes.
When they say standing in the paint,
yeah, she's
standing in the paint. Big shouts out to Fancy Nancy.
She absolutely is, man. And she was at the mayor's
City Hall on tour.
Yep. And so again, man, I just wanted to say thank you everybody for the engagement, man, because it really shined through last night. You know what I'm saying? Like the energy in the room was good.
Yeah, they've been engaged. You know, so when you've been activated,
right. And people was getting help, man. That's the other thing about it too. Like
so it was resources in the building.
Yeah, I mean resources, information. So it's a city hall on tour is basically taking the key departments and putting them in front of you. So like codes, neighborhood affairs, stormwater, traffic.
They ain't bring the department that's hiring.
They was there. Okay. Employment. My wife talked to them.
That's right. Pull it out.
Yeah,
that's right.
So employment was there. They had a whole room dedicated just to CRA.
Yes, I know. George told me.
Yeah.
Big shout out to George.
And it was nice. The CRA mobility study. They had like a presentation and a pop-up walk-up.
Well, can we get a copy of that? Is any handout?
They're gonna be coming. Yeah, they're gonna be coming. And yeah. Matter of fact, every table had handouts
for those who couldn't attend.
For those who couldn't attend. Yeah, there was handouts at each one of them. And lots of great information that was there, man. So again, thank y'all, District 7. Y'all showed up and showed out in a real big way.
Yeah. I want to say District 7 really been showing up and showing out.
Yeah, and I'm talking about people coming up to me like, man, I had to come because I'm with you. You know what I mean? Like I had to come, I had to be here. You know what I'm saying? People came, they said, I got your text, I got your message. You know what I'm saying? And I'm here because I got the message. You know what I mean? So
shouts out to the people that ain't never there.
Yeah,
you guys that don't never show up.
Yeah,
big shouts out to you because you know what?
Yeah, shout out to you
I ain't that type of person to see because I ain't show up last night.
Yeah,
I was one of y'all.
Yeah, the one who ain't make
I was the one that didn't make it.
The one that didn't make it. Yeah. They're in spirit though. Okay. So
the team was there, man. Big shouts out to Sister Mom and Vice President, all the other neighborhood association members and board members that were able to make it last night because those are the important
conversations that need to be had, information that needs to be had. No, that's constructive. You know, they building a whole high rise behind us right there.
Yes, man. And to witness the development, just figuring out how to get involved.
Yes, that's the other piece of it, man. Yeah. We gotta figure out the way. We
watching 90-story buildings go up around us high.
Yeah.
Sway.
Yeah. For real.
Yeah.
Yeah, they going up 90 stories.
I'm saying like that.
They going up high.
70, 80 or something.
I seen 97
units.
I know. 97 units.
I know. I was just telling them.
Not stories, but units, though.
I was just telling them about the infinity.
Yeah.
That is the opportunity that's in this city. When you try to like rationalize it or put a number on what may be here in the future, you can't imagine.
Yeah, the infinite is infinite.
Yes, it's out of your imagination.
Yeah.
It is big. So be a part of it.
Really is.
Get in it, get involved, take part in infinity.
Right on. So look, we got a lot going on. We need y'all to show up, man. Pay attention. Make sure that you're there. You're speaking up at these meetings. Because you know a lot of decisions being made, a lot of input gathering is going on
last night.
Now.
That's what. Yeah. That's kind of how I got caught up. Me and the brother that want to be involved.
Okay,
we just kind of, the meeting after the meeting,
right?
And so I was trying. You know what I'm saying? I was making my effort. We both were going to go.
Okay,
right?
Okay,
we met each other outside and we just locked in for about an hour.
The meeting after the meeting.
Yeah, we locked in for about an hour. And it's very important.
Yeah.
And one of the things that we were talking about is how important we are.
Okay.
As black men in our community, being involved, being inside of these rooms, and not being that person that never show up.
Yes, thank you for that. And speaking of black men, I actually got a call from Fairmont Park. Good morning. I got a call from Fairmont Park. I pulled up on them. And met with a guy that they got that's organizing some men's group.
Okay.
Because they really trying to get men
in the building.
In the building at Fairmont Park. You know what I mean? And
they might need to come talk to us.
Yeah, that's what they're gonna do.
We might bring the 8 Kings back out.
Yeah, we got to, man.
We might bring the 8 Kings back out.
We got to.
Shout out to the 8 Kings.
Because they looking for volunteers, and really you just go to the school website. Oh, you can go to D7 Speaks. You can go to click on the volunteer button on D7 Speaks
and find out how to get involved.
And find out how to get involved with Pinellas County schools. Because they really need us in them schools, man. So shout out to them. Shout out to the volunteer coordinator, because she had me on speed dial. She hit me with can you come over? I know you're busy, but can you come over real quick? I got somebody I want you to meet. And so it was like she had a live one. He on the hook. Come on. I want you to meet him. Come right now. So I was like, okay. It worked out though.
She transferred to your line.
It's Fairmont Park, so I'm like, okay, I'm on the way to City Hall, but I can stop by here before my.
No, that's good, man. Because it's like an emergency.
Yeah,
you got to pull up sometimes.
Yeah, and that's how she was like, man, please, if you can come by right now, you got to meet this guy because he got some stuff that he want to do, and so it was a great connection. And we're gonna continue to do some stuff. I'm going to Sanderlin today, man. Sanderlin, meeting with them and taking a tour. And then I'm giving a keynote, bro, to the Job Corps graduation on Friday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Job Corps.
Yeah, Job Corps, they doing some big things, man. And they recruiting. They trying to get more people from the city to go to the Job Corps.
Yes. I heard about that. That was something. And we actually talked about it. And it's honestly about getting more community people involved.
Right.
I think the problem is a lot of times we want the community, but don't necessarily want to get community involved in the process, right?
Yeah.
The marketing, right?
Yep.
Put some people's names on the check, right? Let me just be blunt, because don't come and ask for volunteerism the entire time you're here. Put people's name on the check, and then you know what they do? They come out and then they tell people, hey, I work with Job Corps. I'm helping them get people. And guess what? That word of mouth is way more powerful than that flyer y'all got.
Yeah.
Than that digital advertising y'all got. That word of mouth, when that person say, yeah, you work at Job Corps, what you do?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm helping people get, bring more people to the city.
I'm trying to get more people from St. Pete in Job Corps. Yeah.
And then guess what?
Yeah.
Hey, man, you know what? Junebug work at Job Corps. Right. What they doing? Get more people to come. You like, your baby need to come. Yeah.
You need to be over there too.
Tell them Junebug sent you.
Right.
And for real, it's a domino effect. And then sometimes you don't get that domino effect because you didn't put nobody's name on the check.
Don't get the domino effect because you didn't put their name on the check. Bars from bar. You heard it here first. Tasha, good morning. How you feeling? 22nd in Tech, man.
Yes, big shout out to 22nd in Tech. All your tech needs. Go follow 22nd in Tech on Facebook. 22nd in Tech.
Believe that. Also, we still gonna keep pushing, man. They were there last night. Too Healthy St. Pete They're doing this healthy food action plan. And so the city wants your voice, needs your voice in the healthy food action plan. It's more than a program. It's a collective effort to boost health and equity. Focused on 16 census tracts. This plan targets areas with higher poverty rates and limited access to healthy food options, also known as food deserts, and dealing with issues including restricted food retail, transportation, and nutrition. And they're looking for input. They've been doing like a series of meetings. They've been doing them at different times. They've been doing them in person, doing them virtually. So please, please, and please again, make sure y'all tap in. The next meeting is going to be December 11th at 6:30 p.m. at the Enoch Davis Center. Then December 13th, there's a virtual session. And then the last one is January 9th at 6 p.m. at the Campbell Park Rec Center. For more information, you can go to healthystpetefl.com. But yeah, oh, it's a survey. Matter of fact, you can just take the survey. You don't even have to go to the meetings. I found that out last night too. You don't have to go to the meeting. You can actually just go online, take the survey, and give your input as well. If you don't want to go online, you can call them 727-892-5994, and somebody will get you in the queue and do what need to be done. But they got ways that you can give your input if you want to give input.
I think that's a great step. Yesterday I was at the Deuces Food Forest.
Okay,
right?
Yeah, I saw
big shots out the Jug, big shots out the Super Dave Urban Drinkery, and the reason I'm bringing that up is because the need for healthy food and food options is really big.
Yes,
we need it in the communities. We need it, outskirts of the community, everywhere.
Right.
And the gardens, the food forests, are one
farm, and
yes, those are one ways of getting the community something to eat.
Right.
Then you have the people going around talking about the surveys and finding out what's going on.
Well, that's planning, but they ain't providing the
direct. Yes, because and I want to make sure that it ain't so definitive, because one of the things is a lot going on. It's like a kaleidoscope, because you have the one community grocery co-op.
Yep, you got
right. You got
you got from the co-op to Crutel, man.
Yes, for real. Like honestly, and the thing is figuring out. They just start putting fresh groceries inside of corner stores.
Healthy corner store.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah. And I kind of remember that came from one of those studies and one of those surveys.
Talking about Minnesota. We were talking about that under New Deal.
Yes, I know. That's what I know. I remember. That's what I'm saying. And then there was a study. People went around. I want to say they went around. And then they checked out the parking lots. Yeah. And one of the first things they was going to say, hey, let's help them fix their parking lots. Yeah. And it was like, oh no,
not fix the parking lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
I remember that. Yeah.
Because at first they went around, and then it was like, oh, the parking lots look real bad. Everything was bad.
We need to beautify the stores. Yeah.
No,
we need food in there.
No.
But see, here's the thing. What would have happened if you wasn't in that meeting to give that feedback? We'll probably have some beautiful corner stores with nice parking lots.
And I think
an amazing facade.
I think
Come on, man, ain't no but and
no, because I think that has its place too.
Yeah,
right. Because we can gentrify our own community and stay there. Yeah, I ain't talking about the gentrification where you have a flight and we leave.
Like, we improve about property values for ourselves.
So I mean, there's a way we can have them all.
Right.
But first, we need to take care of people eating healthy.
Right on.
Right. We got to get people what they need, and I'm really interested to find out with this group. Get with the one community grocery co-op and like bridge that gap between these organizations.
Put it on your calendar, man. December 11th, 6:30 p.m.
I'm on vacation.
Enoch Davis Center. See, that's what I'm talking about. In order to get freedom, you got to give up some of your free time. You got to give up some of your free time.
I don't know why I set myself up for that.
Yeah, you got all these ideas, but
there you go.
Gonna bypass the meeting.
No, I ain't gonna go like that. I don't know, because I went to a meeting last night.
Okay, about the healthy food?
No, it was about St. Pete not for sale. It was actually about the Tropicana
field. Faith in Florida? Yeah,
Faith in Florida.
Dylan Dane.
Yes, it was it was a room full of people, man. Yeah. That was a healthy turnout.
Okay.
And we found out a lot of key points and information about,
the deal.
The deal.
Yeah.
It sounds like a dramatic show. The deal. So that's why I couldn't make it.
And they were there last night too.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't make it.
The Rays was
I'm pretty sure they was. But that's why
like a whole presentation and questioning that.
That's why I couldn't make it, because I was finding out about what's in the agreement, what's in the deal, what's in the past deal, what promises, because you hear them talk about the promises
that was made.
Yes, but they don't tell you what the promises were. Right. And that's kind of what it was about, going through it with a fine-tooth comb.
Okay.
And really, listening to people, who from the gas plant district, business owners that were there. So it was a very, I'm telling you, I had all intentions to come to the city hall meeting.
No doubt. So here's what I hope. I would hope that at the end of that meeting last night that y'all was having, that there was a call to action for people to go to the historic gas plant community benefits meeting. Because it's going to
be they did talk about that. They did talk
December
about that.
December 13th at 6:00 at the Coliseum.
Yep, they did talk about that meeting.
I'm talking about not talk about it, but like, hey, sign up. Let's take a bus of y'all. Let's go over there.
Yeah, I mean,
because
I hope they do.
At those meetings, the city meetings is the place where they're supposed to. Like, we got to test these theories, right? That's where they're supposed to be, gathering the information, giving you a report back then. This is what we heard you say. This is what we're doing. But if you over here at one meeting and then you don't make it to the meeting where the city officials are at, then what we doing?
I mean, the meetings were set at the same time, so I don't know.
So I'm hoping that group will
and that's
participate.
That's one of the things we
official city meeting.
But that's one of the things we spoke about, getting more community voices and more community participation. Because one of the things,
it's essential, man.
One of the things that I got out of it is that one of the main investors in this is not at the table.
Okay.
Right? The city and the county are the managers of city property and county property. Who owns that property?
Right.
Us, the people.
Yeah.
And a lot of the people are not at the table. So you have the investors from Heinz Rays, you have the investors, everybody with the interest, and then the people who are actually the primary investors aren't there in mass numbers, like you say. Get on the bus and go there.
Why not?
Well, people,
why they ain't there?
People working.
Okay,
like that's one of the things.
We can't make excuses and progress at the same time.
But that's one of the things.
That's what I say. You got to give up some of your free time.
But there got to be concessions. They got to be concessions.
Man.
And when you create your space better make concessions. Because if I was disabled, there would be concessions for my disability.
Yes.
What if I'm financially disabled?
Okay.
What if I'm financially strapped and I gotta be somewhere else?
Okay.
And make that concession too.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
And that's the thing.
So you ADA qualified, what it is, economic. I'm just saying.
Man, I hear that. I unite with that, and I do.
I know you do.
But I can't keep saying
you can't make progress and excuses at the same time.
You cannot.
You gotta give up your free time.
And we all gotta do, we all got stuff to do. We all have lives to live. I get it. But when these things happen,
you gotta be there.
If it means something to you,
you gotta be there.
Then you make a sacrifice.
You gotta be there.
Charity is what you can do comfortably.
Okay, that's one.
Charity is something you can do comfortably.
That's one.
I can give you a little something there. That's charity. But a sacrifice, you gotta stretch a little bit. You got to say, I need to leave a little early because I get off at 5 and the meeting start at 5:30. It's going to take me out. I need to leave a little early so I can go to the
stretch
meeting.
A little bit.
That's a sacrifice.
I hear you.
You know what I'm saying? And the people that's in these spaces, man, a lot of times they're making sacrifices. And that's why I'm here, because we sacrificed to be here.
That's right.
And now we encouraging other people
I need help. You got to stretch.
Like, look, I'm in this space by myself or with a couple of my peers trying to get people to tap in. And it's like, well, we got excuses. I got
to go to work. I got to go to work. Hey, you got to stretch. I hear you, though. I hear you. You know,
we want to run the world, but we don't want to skip legs.
Ain't no sacrifice. Ain't no sacrifice too small, or so you can.
We trying to run the world, but we skipping leg day. Collins, what's on your mind Wednesday? What's on your mind?
No, you can't skip leg day. But you gonna be able to accomplish leg day with a person who's helping you, right? Because you shouldn't work out by yourself. They say
that's right.
So when you looking at him move by himself and he can't be everywhere, it ain't even fair to move that way. When in essence, when a team comes to the huddle and say, hey man, run that route. That's how a community doesn't miss anything.
Right.
Because the community that's united, 5 of them can go to that meeting, 5 can go to that meeting, 5 can go to that meeting, and 5 can go to that meeting. When the community is not united, 16 people coming back trying to tell 1,600 people what's going on in different meetings. And that's how you put the 2 on the 10.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that. Congratulations, King Ray.
Hey man,
Mr. Moore.
We got Miss Peanut with a ring, you know.
Come on, man. Put a ring on it, man.
Real nice.
I appreciate that.
That's what it is, man. I heard a beat down just then. I ain't talking about the beat down band. Shout out beat down band. But when my brother leave a meeting and he can't make it to the other meeting, man,
that's
we
all right.
can't almost go so much with bass in our voice and be pounded on him about missing a meeting.
I'm not. Come on, you know that ain't what I'm doing.
He needed help.
That's the phone a friend. Phone a friend. How to be a millionaire? Phone a friend.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
You can be a millionaire these days by phoning a friend.
We're gonna have this conversation off air about him specifically. Because I'm talking general.
About him going from one meeting to another.
No, that wasn't a beat down. I'm sorry if it sounded like I was like being overly critical of Mr. Edmond for not being there last night. That's not what the intent was. I'm talking,
I ain't take it like that either.
I'm talking about people who like at home on their couch talking about how crazy it is around here, and then it's a meeting to say, "Hey man, we trying to do something about how crazy it is around here," and they say, "Well, we ain't coming because they're gonna do what they want to do anyway." I'm talking about that group. You know what I'm saying?
So with that group, right? That group what we can do is come in with intelligent ways to get that group involved.
Yes, sir.
You see what I'm saying? Right. So because the thing of it is, that group is majority of our people.
It's us.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And what we're saying is, and this is what we're talking about with insane movements, if that's the majority of our people, what does it say about our people? Our people vote, win elections, and you don't even have the majority of your own?
Yeah, and here's the thing, Reno, I'm talking about voting when it's a room of 13 people and they decide because that's what these input sessions and what not are. Like again, 49th Street Business Association as a case is a perfect example.
Yeah,
like we have 40 businesses.
Yeah, from start to finish. Yeah,
like we got 40 businesses, maybe 30, show up participating, and then we take a vote in that meeting, and that's the direction. And so 16 can decide, like, okay, this is what the vision for this area is finna be.
Yeah,
I'm saying be one of them 16, and then when we vote. Like for elections, we're voting for people who are going to allocate the resources to do what the 16 people said that they wanted to do. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I'm saying get involved at the 16.
You breaking it down.
Get involved at the level where it's 16. So now we getting lanes removed on 34th Street. There was 60 people in that meeting that decided that. Yeah. You know what I mean? And now we saying, well, why they did it like this here? Because it was 60 people in the room. 31 said we want to have lanes removed. Yeah. That's the type of voting I'm talking about now. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta be present. Yeah. Or you gotta click the link and do the survey. And so then when we get the data to make decisions as council members, we can look and say, well, how many people was it? What area was it from? How did this go? Okay, that's how that worked.
So watch this then. When we I'm not saying that's not the way. I want to add to it, because when we say, hey man, get there. No. If I can't get there, let me get somebody there.
There you go.
And that's what got Shawty Soprano involved. Yeah. Because one brother, John Muhammad, couldn't get there. But what he did was made sure that he was there present through someone else.
Yes, sir.
So when we say, hey man, like
organizing.
That's what you're hearing from me right now, Reno.
Get somebody there. It's like almost like an incomplete sentence.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? If you can't get there, then get someone there. That's right. What I did.
And that's what we. I'm gonna let you drop with this one.
Listen, that boy say that's what I did.
He did. But we flipped
it's facts. It's big facts.
But remember when they used to say GOTV?
He started telling me to go to the meeting. I was able to go to the meeting. That's literally. See that story.
Yeah, big fact. Yeah, King Jab, I see him on here. Like,
that's big fact. That ain't you ain't lying.
And that's what I'm saying. And I'm like, okay, well, so how can we duplicate that? Yeah. No, I appreciate that. Everybody love Mr.
I will jump on Brother John like I will pop out and see.
Pop out, big shot, man. Big love, bro.
I love you, my brother, bro. That's the love, though. Look,
but
man,
for real though,
I understand. I miss Reno being here, man. Because good Lord, man. So so that was that thing. I don't see Qiana. Let me just grab this. I'm gonna stay over here.
Okay, so back to what we were saying, because he is facts. So if you can't make it, make a way and get a way for another person to make it. Right. Because honestly, what we're doing is is intentionally putting ourselves in these rooms.
Right.
Absolutely. And I loved it. I loved it when Sister Muhammad called me last night and was like, "Hey, I'm here. They looking for you.
That's right.
What you gonna do?"
Yeah.
And then I hit back like, "I'm trying to make it."
Right.
And like I say, and then it was a blessing because I ran into another brother.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
So it's that duplication.
And he was like, "Yeah, man, I ain't been able to come and I ain't been able to do this, but I've been watching, I'm looking." I'm like, "Yeah, bro, come on, jump in."
Yeah, no, that's right.
Let's rock. Let's turn out. What's up?
That's right. Let me see what that congrats, Rito. Tasha, as she say, divide and conquer is a good strategy.
Yes.
So what I'm talking about is the strategy.
That's real.
Run the play. See that mantra. So yeah. So that's what's happening with y'all.
Run the play. Big shouts out to big shouts out to King Jab and King Reno. To see that street team.
Yes.
A lot of people don't know right after COVID, during COVID, to see that street team hit the ground. And I see a lot of duplicates.
Pioneers, man.
But I love it because cell division. When I was in school, I kind of studied the photosynthesis. I kind of liked it, that stuff. Right. And when you get a good, strong cell, what he do? He divide. Yeah. Boom. And then that one divide.
That's how life is created.
And then that organism is stuck.
Yeah.
With that cell.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, the DNA is all up and through them.
Big shots out there. I would just want to say
that DNA is like all up and through the
fingerprints everywhere. Everywhere. These are fingerprints I need you to find.
Yeah. Some fingerprints.
Sometimes I don't want you to find my fingerprints. These fingerprints, I need you to do your research and find.
For real, man. Do you have a microwave? You use a microwave?
Yes, I used the microwave this morning.
Okay, so today is National Microwave Oven Day. It takes place on December 6th to celebrate the most influential of kitchen devices.
What you go get radiation check?
I think so. Because that's another part of it. It's that microwave ovens are generally considered safe and convenient for cooking and heating food. However, there are some concerns.
Generally considered.
Yeah, generally considered safe.
And that ain't safe.
That's the general statement. But there are some people that say, however, there are some concerns and misconceptions associated with them. It's important to note that scientific evidence does not support.
You sound like an advocate.
Yeah, whoever wrote this was an advocate for microwave. Many of the more extreme claims about the negative impacts, but some of the concerns on nutrient loss. So some people worry that microwaving food leads to the loss of nutrients, radiation. Microwaves use non-iodizing radiation to heat the food. There is a misconception that this radiation makes the food radioactive. However, microwaves do not make food radioactive, and the radiation they use is not the same as ionizing radiation, which is the type of radiation that's associated with nuclear reactors. That's what they're saying. Formation of harmful compounds. So studies suggest that certain cooking methods, including microwave, can lead to the formation of potentially harmful compounds. However, this formation of these compounds is more closely related to the type of food being cooked in the conditions of cooking than the food itself. And then microwave plastic containers can be a concern if the plastic is not labeled microwave safe. And there are some concerns that, the plastic leach into into your food, the dioxins and whatnot. So today is National Microwave Oven Day. We got some other days to talk about this day in history. So when we get back from the break, we're going to talk about the National Day of Remembrance. Today is also the date that the 13th Amendment was ratified. So we're going to talk about that and the new Jim Crow. We got some headline news. We got to call and check on Qiana, make sure that she's good. And we'll be right back at about 6 minutes after the hour, 6-7 minutes after the hour. So y'all stick around.
Stick and stay.
Right here on the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club on 99 Jams, The Bird.
The UN now saying that because of the ongoing fighting, that it's really only able to distribute aid effectively in a very small corner of the whole of the Gaza Strip, just across from the Rafah crossing.
The BBC's Rushdie Abu Alouf assesses to what extent the Israeli operations are achieving their strategic aim to eliminate Hamas.
Hello, St. Pete. Welcome to the District 7 newsletter. We're back with more updates and opportunities for you to get involved. Let's dive into the latest news. Healthy Food Action Plan. The city of St. Petersburg is introducing a new program called the Healthy Food Action Plan, aimed at addressing the social, environmental, economic, and physical aspects of food access and security in St. Pete through programs, projects, partnerships, and policies. The Healthy Food Action Plan project is funded by federal funds to the city through the American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA, and will be operated by Healthy St. Pete, a division of the city's Parks and Recreation Department. The Healthy Food Action Plan will focus specifically on 16 census tracts designated by the city as healthy food priority areas. In-person meetings will be held November 28, 9:30 a.m. and December 11, 6:30 p.m. at the Frank Pierce and Enoch Davis Centers, respectively. For information on the program and to register for a virtual session, visit healthystpetefl.com for details.
Water shortage notice. Due to the current drought conditions, the Southwest Florida Water Management District has issued a modified Phase 1 water shortage order that includes the city of St. Petersburg. The order goes into effect on December 1, 2023. This order comes after significantly below normal rainfall, reduced river levels, and increasing water supply concerns. To help conserve water, the city is shifting to a temporary watering restriction of once a week. This restriction applies to properties watering with potable, city, water from private wells, or private connections to surface water sources, lakes, ponds, etc. Additionally, residents should adjust their irrigation timer to ensure the settings are correct, as restriction enforcement activities will continue to be enhanced. This order goes into effect on December 1st and is expected to stand until July 1st, 2024. Please ensure all water systems are properly set up and prepare for an adjusted watering schedule.
Mayor's City Hall on Tour. Don't miss the opportunity to be part of the Mayor's City Hall on Tour on December 5th at 6 p.m. at Childs Park Recreation Center. Engage in meaningful discussions about local issues, share your thoughts, and connect with Mayor Ken Welch and other city leaders. It's a chance to have your voice heard and actively contribute to the dialogue shaping our community.
PSTA Community Bus Plan Survey. Calling all Pinellas County residents. Your voice is a crucial factor in shaping the future of our transit system. Participate in the PSTA Community Bus Plan Survey at bit.ly/envisionpsta to share your insights and ideas. Mark your calendars for the upcoming public workshop on December 12th, located at Enoch Davis Center, 1111 18th Avenue South, St. Petersburg, Florida 33705, from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Together, let's actively contribute to the development of a transit system that truly mirrors the needs and preferences of our community.
The Community Reentry Experience. Get ready to embrace second chances at the Community Reentry Experience on December 12 at 12 p.m., hosted by Council Member Mohammed and community partners. Join us to actively support reentry initiatives, engage in discussions about challenges, and walk a mile in the shoes of a returning citizen during our reentry simulation. Mark the date on your calendar and be part of making a positive impact. The Community Reentry Experience is on December 12 at 12 p.m. at the Center for Health Equity, 2333 34th Street, South St. Petersburg. Save the date and make a difference.
More than 16,000 people have been killed so far, with those numbers increasing by the hour.
All right, welcome back. And just like that, we're back. This is the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. Welcome back. Welcome back to Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. I'm your brother John.
Hello, St. Pete. Welcome to the District 7 newsletter. We're back with more updates and opportunities for you to get involved. Let's dive into the latest news. Healthy Food Action Plan. The city of St. Petersburg is introducing a new program called the Healthy Food Action Plan, aimed at addressing the social...
Thank y'all for tuning in to help us to redefine what's cool, because smart is
the new gangster.
And if you don't know,
now you know.
No. So yeah, man. So we're talking about community engagement, why it's important, how small votes, how one vote in a small room can increase the percentage.
And freedom ain't free.
And the weight. Yeah, freedom ain't free. We're gonna have to give up some of our free time in order to get our freedom.
Freedom ain't free.
Yeah. just a little bit.
Somebody had to pay the cost.
Come on, man. And that's this day in history. So also on December 4th in 1956, the Montgomery Improvement Association was formed.
Oh, that's the bus people?
Yep. And, it was formed by African-American ministers in Montgomery, Alabama, leading to the Montgomery bus boycott that followed the arrest of...
Like 2 years later, 3 years later?
Maybe a couple years.
Yeah, like 59, 60.
When it actually jumped off. Yeah.
And so they started about 5 years before.
It's like 56 is when they started.
Oh, yeah, they was right on the hill.
Yeah. So they was right up. What's that? Following the arrest of Rosa Parks, and so like
that's what united them.
Yeah, it was that.
That's what united them.
Talk about making the sacrifice.
Yeah, that's what united them.
Yeah.
And then they jumped on.
Yep, they did. The rest is history, and it's still more history.
It's being made.
It's being made with that. But yeah, that was absolutely the result of somebody making a sacrifice, man.
Yes. And I want to double click on that sacrifice part because like you said, some of our free time, we gotta some of our free time and some of our paid time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. We gotta loan some time back from some of our employers.
Yeah.
And get some stuff done. Some of them long lunches. Yeah, this gonna be a long lunch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You be my boss. I'm just took a long lunch.
It's gonna be a long lunch.
I'm gonna have a long lunch.
And on that long lunch, you go to Fairmont Park or you go to Campbell Park Elementary, and you spend 30 minutes with a young black male.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's what they say the target is and the challenge is. So if you spend the long lunch, and you spend 30 on the minutes at a lunch with, somebody at a school.
Yeah.
You making an impact, man.
Yeah.
Because them 30 minutes I've been going and I'm telling you, it's an escape, and it's like a cool factor because now they got somebody coming to see them. So you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then they starting to rally around as I go. So now that one that you're going to see, they friends coming and they got conversation, they got ideas, and so it's not just the one that you there with, but it's others. Who is that? Who that coming to see you? Who you? Come on over here. Like, look, let me comb your hair too. You know what I'm saying? You got a little curl over there. Let me. Straighten these things out.
Yeah,
man.
that's right.
You know what I mean? But it's 30 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's all you got because they got to go back to class.
Yeah, they got to go back to class. Like, they on the timeline, too. They
go back to work.
And then you go back to work after that long lunch. But you made an impact, man. Also today, in 1865, that construction getting down over. That's what y'all hear. Like, they building Mr. Edmond would call it a 90-story building. right behind.
Yeah.
In my Mr. Edmond voice, man, they building a 95-story building right behind.
All of them, every one of them,
90 story. I mean, after you get 3 or 4 up, it looked like 90 from the ground. So, but yeah, so 1865, the 13th Amendment of the United States Constitution was ratified. Abolishing slavery. That's air quotes.
So wait a minute.
Yeah.
1885?
1865.
1865.
Yeah. The 13th Amendment
was
ratified. And the 13th Amendment of the United States Constitution provides that it says that neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as punishment for a crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction. So that's when becoming a criminal made you that's when that's when they criminalized.
Yes.
Yeah,
so that
being
they
black.
have slave labor.
Yeah.
And then it transformed into the criminal justice.
Yeah. Injustice.
The injustice.
Yeah.
What they call it?
Just that whole system and the prison industrial complex.
Yes, that's what I was.
Prison industrial complex.
That's when they made the industrial complex.
Yeah,
and now that it's profitable. And they got contracts that say that there must be so many heads and beds,
right?
Or a fine or a lawsuit can happen.
So you got to keep this thing filled.
So I don't need y'all being light on criminals.
Right.
I need you being tough on crime. Everybody got a bunk for everybody. Every third grader that failed.
We building a bed for them.
It's called the bus prison to pipeline. School to prison pipeline.
Yeah.
I'm busting up.
And so with that, being that today is the anniversary of the 13th Amendment ratification, the book of the day. We got a book of the day.
Okay, what it is?
The New Jim Crow.
Ooh.
The New Jim Crow by Michelle Alexander.
Yes.
And so for those who don't know, the book of the day is a segment that's being brought to you by the Barbershop Book Club. The Barbershop Book Club helps to motivate kids by offering them a free cut and a free book to those who read it aloud while getting their hair cut. You can follow Central Station Barbershop on Facebook to learn more about the initiative or to donate culturally relevant books.
Central Station Barbershop.
Yes, shout out to T Brown and the amazing work that he's doing.
Yes, big.
And he's applying pressure, man. Yes. So I appreciate you, T. But yeah, the New Jim Crow by Michelle Alexander. It explores the concept of mass incarceration in the United States and the impact that it's had on African American communities. Some of the takeaways from the book: mass incarceration is a caste system. So the book argues that mass incarceration of Black America functions as a modern day racial caste system akin to the Jim Crow laws of the past.
Yes.
It highlights how the war on drugs has disproportionately targeted Black communities, leading to a dramatic increase in the number of African Americans in prison.
Yeah.
It talks about the how mass incarceration perpetuates poverty.
Heads and beds.
It perpetuates poverty and the disempowerment of Black community, the loss of voting rights for felons, and the difficulties in finding employment after incarceration contribute to a cycle of disadvantage. That's one of the other takeaways.
Not generational wealth, generational
poverty.
Wow.
Yeah, it's generational poverty. Like for real.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it can be directly tied to, mass incarceration, man. Racial profiling. So Alexander contends that the war on drugs has been used as a guise for racial control, with law enforcement disproportionately targeting African Americans for drug-related offenses.
Even if it's a Black police?
Yes, even if it's a Black police.
Oh, I'm just checking the drop. I know.
That's systemic.
It's systemic, exactly.
Yeah.
So it don't matter who is in the position,
right?
The system continues to run.
Absolutely.
So no matter how good your heart is, right? And I'm speaking to people that work in the system, who live in the system or whatever.
Yeah.
No matter how good your heart is,
yeah.
If you are maintaining and uplifting the system that is in place, it's kind of already set,
and you know it. Like
it's kind of
people with good hearts who work in these systems.
They know what's up.
You struggle really.
They don't know what to do about it
day in and day out. Yeah,
that's what I've discovered. Because the ones who will open up and talk about it, they don't know what to do about it. They don't know how to secure their livelihood, and at the same time
challenge the system and make the system. Yeah, you're
and
right.
push the envelope, and that's what people got to realize. When you push the envelope, there is no model sometimes.
Right.
You just got to push it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And that's when the risk takers come involved. You get what I'm saying? Because that's how we got to where we was at. That somebody pushed that envelope. Somebody pushed it.
Yeah.
And then they were like, oh, come on, push again.
Yeah.
And we got it in small ways.
Right.
And that's why I like that the experience that y'all finna have.
Yep.
Because that's gonna teach people what people going through, and not from the other side. You can say, okay, this is what I can do to change.
That's right. That's right. I can make sure that we don't, turn people away.
Yeah, you ain't got to do that. We ain't got to do that. We can do this.
These are some steps that we can remove in the process to make it easier for people when they get here.
A softer landing.
That's exactly what we want the outcome to be. Like people to look at it and say, okay, this is what my experience was in this, and here's what my role is in my day-to-day life. Here's how I can contribute to making a change in order to improve this for those who may be experiencing this on a day-to-day basis. Like, I'm glad you said that, because that's exactly why we wanted to do it.
That's amazing.
Like, we wanted to do it. Our target is people who are in those positions.
Yes.
Like, we're not targeting people who just getting out.
Because they're experiencing it already.
Yeah. Like, and it's 12 o'clock. Again, speaking about the time, it's 12 o'clock on a Tuesday.
Know your audience.
Who can go there? Like,
know your audience.
And so we know that
that's a long lunch break people.
It's the long lunch break people. Exactly. It's the long lunch. And when you look at who's signing up, it's the long lunch break people.
Yeah.
And that's the people who we wanted to be in the room, because they're the ones who can make change in these systems.
Yeah.
And so that's 12 at 12.
12 at 12.
Yep. December the 12th at 12 o'clock. Yeah. 12 at 12, man.
Hey man, big shout out to the organizer of this, Brother John. in your capacity as council member. This is something big and historic. Big shots out to the Foundation for Healthy St. Pete for standing up in the paint.
Urban League, thank you.
Big shots out to Naked, Urban League, the whole Urban League situation.
Yes,
because I know that the Urban League and these different organizations are kind of the people we need to see this.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So when you first told me about it, I was like, wow.
Right.
He was like, yeah, boy, I just came back from this thing, and I'm like, yeah, man, we need to do this. We need to do this. I got a meeting set up.
Right.
It's a Zoom meeting set up. We got to do this.
And I was like, come on, jump on.
Yeah. We got to do this, man. What you did?
And Don Scott, shout out to Don Scott Jr., man. He out with Horizon Communities out of Tampa, and the brother
it's that Cross the Bay Connect, man.
Yep.
This forging those relationships, pushing the envelope.
Yep.
Right? And you know what I'm saying? Forging those relationships and making something big.
Yeah, because as soon as he said it, I'm like, man, what do you need to bring this to St. Pete?
How can I do it? I know you said
you know what
it.
I mean? And he told me what he needed. We got what he needed, and we bringing it to St. Pete, man.
That's real. The Cross the Bay Connect, man. And like we're saying, this is for people that work like social workers, people that work in the returning industry.
Tax collectors, we inviting them to come.
Tax collectors, elected officials.
Please.
Elected officials. If you running for office next year, come on in. Come on in. So you can see how people who are returning from, right? Because some of them made some laws about this stuff.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? So come on in.
Some of these barriers that they face is because policymakers put these barriers in place.
Yes.
In the name of justice, but it's not justice, it's punishment.
Yes.
And that's the other part of this conversation.
It's punitive.
It's punitive and not justice. Like it's not just like there's no justification for it.
Yes.
It's just like we want to make it hard for you because you made a mistake or you did something and you never can get out of that.
That was a retaliatory phase of the justice system. And I would say they're trying to come kind of out of that a little some piece.
Yeah.
But they still, you know what I'm saying? They still firmly in it. But you get what I'm saying? You'll see some of even the hardest judges and people backing off for some of that stuff.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Even like Biden.
Oh, yeah.
The president is the perfect example of what I'm talking about.
Right.
This man was against everything. This man wrote the crime bill.
Yeah, 1994.
It was his pen. It was his pen from his desk, his assistants. And the way he's changed.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Because everybody's saying like we're really just making people harder and bitter and harsher. And that ain't what we want to do.
Right.
We want you to pay for your crime.
Yeah.
And most criminals understand to pay their debt back to society.
And you knew that when she was doing it. Like, okay, if I get caught, I'm gonna have to do something.
Yeah, some of them like, but that don't mean continue to
like after I paid, like don't keep reminding me of what I gotta pay.
You almost run me back to it, honestly.
Yeah, and that
because it's much easier.
But that go back full circle to what we talked about earlier, like that contract that they got to get them beds full, and you know what I'm saying. And so these barriers that's put in place, they know a high percentage of people. Yeah, I mean they said
they just got to lower their thresholds, man.
They said 60 to 70% of people recidivate or go back.
Yes, recidivism.
So out of 10 people, 6 or 7 of them are gonna end up going back.
I'm gonna tell you, and a lot of that is the barriers. So let's say 3 or 4 of those people do the barriers. Another 3, 4, just got to get another taste of it.
Yeah, they just ain't ready.
Ain't ready to change yet. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you can almost cut them numbers in more than half by lowering some of these barriers.
Yeah, these thresholds, removing the
barriers. That's 30% recidivism. Now you talking like you Amsterdam or something.
Right.
You one of these other countries.
Right.
Like for real. Yeah. That's how their numbers are drastically different.
Yeah.
Because they don't.
And they police officers don't even have to carry guns over there. like they got places like that.
We the gun capital of the world. So people here ain't giving up guns.
That is going to be a whole.
Yeah. So they can just use them less.
Let me ask you this: when you first heard the term, the new Jim Crow, tell me about that and what was that like?
Kurt Donnelly, bought me the book.
Mm-hmm.
He was always talking about it, right?
Right.
And people don't know Kurt was the former president of Kona.
Yep.
Council of Neighborhoods. And Kurt, you'll be happy to know I'm taking Kona this year. You a big part of that.
That's what's up.
Child's Park. Big shots out to Sierra Clark. She had been going, Miss Paulette actually.
Yep. Yep.
Set it up so Sierra would go.
She had a scholarship.
Yeah, so I got the scholarship this year.
Okay.
Well, the sponsorship.
Yeah.
We communicate.
Yeah.
But long story short is he was the one that gave me the book. And he was like, "Hey, Jabbar, you know you know about some of this stuff, but here this is like they really." And I ain't gonna lie, I ain't pick it up again
after you got the book.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. I ain't gonna lie, I didn't.
Yeah.
I was aware of it. You know, I did some YouTube research.
Oh yeah.
But then it hit.
Okay.
Because he gave it to me a little before it hit hard.
Before the wave.
Before she was going and doing all the interviews.
Yeah. Because it was a wave.
And I'm like, hold on, and that's the book Kurt gave me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Kurt was he was ahead of the curve.
And it was interesting that, you got this, 50-year-old white guy introducing black communities to the new Jim Crow.
Bought me the book.
Yeah.
Gave me the book.
Me too.
I know.
Had a box of them.
Yeah, I know.
And was like,
he's like, I'm putting these out.
He was like gifting these.
Yeah, I'm putting these out here. Y'all need to see this.
And he was doing town halls. This is why they removed him from Kona too. Because he was actually organizing as president of Kona, going to different neighborhoods, having panel discussions about the book. And it was uncomfortable conversations.
Very uncomfortable conversations. And
because a lot of them, neighborhood, them crime watch, folks,
see,
they have a different perspective.
And they do. And they need to be, they need to listen to some other perspectives. And
that's what he was forcing them to do.
And this is what I was gonna say. He pushed the envelope.
And they voted his behind out of that.
And that's how I go sometimes.
Yeah.
And then look at it 7 years later, 8 years later, I'm going back in there with that book in my hand.
That's right.
You get what I'm saying?
That's right.
Because he gave me the book and he kind of put my eyes on the organization. They're gonna think it came from what's going to just happen.
Right.
No, it really go back to Kurt, the president.
Yeah.
That used to, he used to really come and rock with us. So a lot of people don't know. New Deal, a lot of that stuff we were doing, Kurt was like,
oh yeah. So,
he was in.
And that was like back in the STV 12 days.
Yeah.
Like
he lived on top of the dirty. Yeah. If y'all know the dirty, y'all remember the dirty?
Yeah.
Y'all know that apartment on top of the dirty?
Right.
That's what Kurt
that's what he used to live. Right? And he out in like Nevada or Arizona somewhere.
I see him every
he got a
California, I thought.
Yeah. He went to California, and then from there he went to Arizona because he like post pictures of him at Area 51 and where the aliens and all that stuff. I know. Out there.
We shot. But listen, the reason I want to say because the impact one person can have, and how you can push the envelope from within the system. Because if you know about Kona got some very, 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 very serious history issues with us.
Oh yeah,
and I'm gonna let them know I know. So don't
when you walk in.
I'm here to do it, but I'm gonna let you know now. Like I was on the butt of those jokes or those laws.
That's right.
We was on the other side of that, man.
Yeah, we were the targets of that. Exactly. When you talk about the war, this war on drugs, like, and you look at who were the human targets, like it was, young black males. Yeah. That was the name of the target. Yeah. And when you heard young black male, it give you all of these images. Yeah. And that's why, again, part of the New Image Project is like to change the image. Like we got to redefine what's cool, not only for ourselves, but for them.
For the other people, yeah.
Because they felt like, and let's go back to like COINTELPRO. Like, so this week, the theme of this week, man, it's really just kind of syncing up because that was another one of them misinformation, disinformation, criminalizing.
Attacking the character of a whole... a whole community, a whole just in all aspects, and
and then anybody who rises up to say, "Hey, wait, man,
you can't even say it's a systematic thing without people saying, "Oh, he's saying the system, he's saying the people are." Yes, y'all got CIA documents that say it too, baby.
They said this is policy.
Yeah, Watergate. That's what that document. Them documents they stole.
It was policy
at the Democratic office.
Yeah. And it's so much more of that.
That was something.
Yeah, and that's what they put out that we see. Like,
yes,
it's stuff that we haven't
most stuff came out. So it was a wave of declassifications.
Okay.
So every president, it come to their term and it come to a point in their term where they declassify stuff. Okay. That's why some of the classification came out about the Martin Luther King and Malcolm X stuff.
Yeah.
Some of that
which got with the brothers now getting exonerated.
That's because those documents became declassified.
Yeah, and we've been screaming for years to open up them files.
Listen, and
for years
hindsight is 2020. And like you said, they made movies and productions and they produced one of those at the time highest ever black movies You know what I'm saying? With all that CIA COINTELPRO sprinkled all through it.
All up and through it, yeah. And then the movie itself is a CIA COINTELPRO sponsored thing, because it's like, okay, we want to show y'all these things because we got an agenda that we operate.
And they made him do stuff.
Right now.
He walked off from that movie several times.
Yeah.
They made him do stuff.
Made him
put
add
stuff
things.
Take stuff out.
And I mean, you see that with movies like, and shows like The Godfather, Harlem, and how they, mixing dialogue and adding characters who were not real people in real life.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I ain't know that.
For dramatic effect. Yeah. Well, the movie Malcolm X, Baines was not a real person.
Okay.
That was just somebody that you can use to follow the story, like a protagonist throughout the story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But there was no real Baines.
Baines was
made up.
But no, I'm saying it was Spike Lee.
Yeah, Spike Lee.
Yeah, Spike Lee. Yeah, because that was his partner. I didn't know he didn't have a.
No, so Baines. No, that was Shorty. Shorty was a real person.
Okay,
but some say Shorty might have been Red Fox because he was real close with Red Fox too. But they won't confirm or deny that. But him and Red Fox was tight when they was younger. But the character Baines, the one who asked him in the shower, "What makes you ashamed of being black?" Right? When he was perming his hair in prison.
Yeah.
And like that character, that person
never
existed. What makes you afraid?
That's right, though. That's right. That's one of the questions, though.
That's one of the questions, man.
Taught you to hate yourself. Skin.
Those are great questions, man.
Reno hit him with the I ain't black. I'm pecan tan brown. Y'all got me hallucinating. Talking about I'm black. We look at our skin and say, "Oh, this beautiful black skin," and you looking at brown and copper colored skin.
Under an illusion, man. Yeah. So get the book, y'all. The New Jim Crow. Again, today is the anniversary of the date that the 13th Amendment was codified.
Yes, and the New Jim Crow. I see what you did there.
Yeah.
I see. You drew a line from that everybody except criminals, and then all the way to the New Jim Crow.
The New Jim Crow. Yeah. How it from the time that they passed that law.
And what they did,
and then how they adjusted, because
it's in the books.
You know that whole system of slavery. Like they had to keep it going.
Yeah,
and they had to figure out a way to keep it going, and the way they figured out to do it was through criminalizing or the criminal justice system. And I mean, like convict leasing is a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
And
what about the sharecroppers?
Sharecroppers was a part of that, but that was more of the economic aspect of it.
But it still came all the way to like the 70s, 80s. They still got people sharecropping somewhere in the bayou right now.
Yeah, but look, and that was
the man discovered these people that was still slaves.
It's called the Cotton Picking Truth. It's a I'll see if I can pull it up.
Cotton Picking Truth.
Yeah, it's a documentary about how in I want to say 1970s.
Somewhere it came up. They found the lad.
Person on a plantation that was still sharecropping, but that was more of the economic,
slavery.
Because you free, but you don't have no land. I mean, it's like, okay, they basically just they put you out. You know what I mean? And when they put us out, some people went west, some people went north, and other people was like, how about if I just stay here? And it was like, well, if you stay here, you're gonna work, and whatever you produce, you're gonna share it. That's the share in the crop. Like, you're gonna give me a percentage of what you do. And so that model, I mean, we see that in record industry.
I was going to say that sound mob like.
Yeah, but that model, that's what sharecropping is. Like, okay, this is our land. We're going to let you work on our land. We'll give you a piece for yourself and your family. Like, you get a little garden, but what you produce on this land, you're going to have to give it to us. You got to share the crop with us. Oh, and by the way, we're going to tax you for your tools because you don't have tools. So we're going to, you either buy them, and if you ain't got no money to buy them, we're going to give you a loan to buy them.
Yeah.
So now you in debt for your tools. So the crop that you give to pay off your debt, what it is. And but that was that sharecropping system, how that evolved. It was just like people, you free, but you ain't got nowhere to go. So they say, all right, well, you can hang out here. You can stay here.
Human trafficking.
You can stay here. But in order to stay here, that's what you got to do. And so you effectively back in slavery.
Yeah.
And then
that's why I said
the debt part of it, you know what I mean? Because again, like, you got to buy the seeds from them. You got to buy your shovels. You got to buy, everything that you need to operate your business.
So,
and you're in debt to them for it.
So it's really like they say, like Michelle Alexander, so eloquently pointed out that this is a whole system.
It is
of laws, ordinances, and policies and just simple practices.
That's what it is. It's policies and institutional practices.
Yeah, just practices. They can change this at a coffee meeting.
Right.
Around the water cooler, some of this stuff can be changed at the water cooler, at the coffee pot, man.
Yeah.
We ain't got to go through all that mess. It's just, is you ready to push the envelope?
Right.
See, we back to the envelope.
Yep.
Right? You think that is a policy, but it ain't written down nowhere.
Right.
Tell them people to stop. Yeah, you can do it. You the boss.
Yeah.
Can't nobody tell you what to do.
We in these positions.
You bosses.
Yeah, we in this.
And you can say, you know what, we ain't doing that no more.
Yep.
And I'm finna put it in writing, put it in the email. We finna make this a policy.
That's right.
We finna backdoor the policy. It's in the email, and you got the email.
Yeah, and you got the email. Or it's the other way around. If the policy is saying this is something, but you have policy and then you have institutional practices. Yeah. So you know when you get that job and they say, okay, this is what they say, how they say we gonna do it, but this is how we really gonna do it. And that's what happens in the orientation is you, and that can either help you or hurt you. That can either help a community or hurt a community. Because if you got bad policy, the practices of the institution is like, okay, well, that's what they say we should be doing, but this is what we actually gonna do. And we're gonna do it like this. And then if it come up, we got to be able to stand on it because we know that what we're doing is the best thing.
It's the best practice.
It's the best practice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, to get the policy or whatever. Yeah.
In order to get the outcome, because the whole goal of this thing is a certain outcome. And if we're saying that the outcome that we want is this, but your policy won't allow us to get to that, I'm going to change it and change my practice in order to get this outcome. Now, if you got a problem with what I'm doing, change your policy because your policy is not going to get you what you say you're trying to get. Yeah. So, do you really want it? Yeah. And that's through conversation.
That's where you put. That's pushing the envelope. That's what I'm talking about. See,
yes, sir.
Those tough meetings.
And then if you charismatic and you got organizing skills and all of the things,
you might be able to manage up. You manage up,
or you become a target of the government, one or the other. Good Lord,
golly,
yeah. In the future present tense. King Reed, thank you. You can pass me that one.
Welcome to the party.
Welcome to the ride, man.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Yeah. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Like he never left, man. Like he never left.
I know what it is, man.
Yes, sir. Who we got for those who haven't seen you in a while?
We do not have Pensacola.
Not Pensacola.
We can start right there.
We can start with who ain't here.
We can start with who ain't up in this thing.
Up in this thing, man.
Yeah, man. Big shouts out to everybody, man, who's doing what they've been doing, man. Miss Peanut in the building, man. It sounds like a man, but it's a man, baby. Man. We cannot say Mr. Peanut on the way up, y'all. That's how you get sued by planters, right? So y'all enjoy the product, man. The brand that's being built in the city, man. Miss Peanuts, man. It's a brand being built. It's not just peanuts in the pot, right?
Yeah, it's a brand, baby.
Not just peanuts in the pot.
It's a brand, baby.
Hey, y'all. Is that the tag?
What a tag is
not just peanuts.
They sell boiled peanuts in crock pots and gas stations all day long. That is not this.
Okay. Yes, sir.
That is not this.
Okay.
You got some boiled peanuts? They sell boiled peanuts at gas stations all day long in crock pots.
Yes,
that ain't this.
This ain't this.
That's not.
I don't have that.
Yeah, that's right.
So if you're looking for that, I'm telling you where you can go get it.
I appreciate that. Yeah, that's it. Thank you very much. But yeah, that's not.
You ready to fall in love?
That's not what we do.
It's an experience, man.
So we talking about the new Jim Crow, man. When was the first time that you heard that term?
In relating to the book, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
When the author wrote the book and stuff, and it was just being talked about book, you know.
How about your reaction to like?
I felt like a semi breath of fresh air, and then I exhaled like, okay, I see how I go, because one of the most powerful things ever, some of the most powerful things ever, are literally in books, you know. And when we have a great posture of ignoring books, it doesn't matter what comes out. You know what I'm saying? If we can't Paul Revere, if we don't Paul Revere the situations, the situations just continue to manifest. And I say Paul Revere because he was riding through his community saying the red coats are coming, y'all. Yep. You know what I'm saying? So we can have a lot of stuff in our community, but you know, the new Jim Crow is like it's like anything else, man. You know, the black tax, y'all. You know,
that's another.
It's something that just someone took their time out to describe the sorcery and the spell that we're up under.
So this is the second book of the day, the black tag. And the reason this is important, because we talk about people pushing the envelope and going into them people's jobs and changing the way the stuff done too, right? So in the black tax shows you like the intricacies of what they're doing and what's being done.
Institutional practices and
the policies. 13, that documentary 13.
Yeah,
I mean
13th.
The brother in the 70s, he coined the phrase "the system." And he said that the system working to perfection are going to have black men, and I hate to use that word, black men, in dresses.
Yeah.
And I'm working on mental health issues, y'all. So I'm no longer calling this beautiful copper skin. That's on me, black, y'all.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with my eyes, y'all.
It's growing, yeah.
And I can see that this table that this my Coco on is black.
Yeah.
Our cell phones are black.
Yeah.
We have copper skin.
Yeah.
And in 1812, Americans were defined as the copper-colored races that was here when someone came over here. And so when we're subscribing to a boat ride, we might want to check ourselves at the front door and see where we actually on a boat.
Check this out. So that's a great segue. Let me see if I kept that piece, because we had a lot on here. I might have to go back because
we can't wait for people to identify us, y'all. We have to identify ourselves, man.
And
that's our Kuji Chagalia.
And I really listen. I really like just the fact that just say it.
Yeah,
this is not. I'm not black.
Man, listen, man.
Like that. Black is a color with a definition.
It's
and a
beautiful.
Look. We got a blue sky, right? It's black. My coffee cup black. But my skin is not. I got black ink on my tattoo.
I do, yeah, I got black ink.
You know what I'm saying?
Green,
and it turned green.
Yeah,
it's like yeah.
I'm just saying.
And so it looked green. You know it was black.
So I asked.
Is it black?
Type deal.
Listen, go ahead and push it.
Is it black or is it green?
Listen.
Please talk to the libraries in y'all community, man. The elders, man. I fact find. I do a lot of fact find. Y'all know Reno. He's a thought provoker, right? I
thought influencer.
I'm a thought influencer, right? I influence thought. Right. So in talking into an elder is like out of frustration, like knowing our identity. Because y'all have to understand, y'all, the generation before us, so we say our grandparents' generation, that's 2 generations before us. They know our identity. That's why when you go ahead and Google the Civil Rights Bill of 1968 and just kind of casually scroll down to the nickname of it, it was nicknamed the Indian Rights Bill. Okay. You see what I'm saying? So I asked the elder, why did we settle for black? You know, like what was that all about, right? He says, well, Reno, you know, we would rather be called anything but Negro. And I had to eat that, right? Because when you look at the timeline, we literally were called Indian when people first came over here because that's what we called ourselves.
Okay.
Being that this was also one of the names is India Superior, y'all. Okay. You can just Google stuff. One of the names of our soil. Be careful
looking at that too, though.
Yeah. Google algorithms is very careful, so you can do more scholarly work and do other things as Google. But for layman's terms, just go ahead and start your search. You know what I'm saying? Look at one of the names of your country. It was India Superior, and at the same time, into 1940s, India, it was called Hindustan over there across the water. So when we think that's always been India, we're not accurate, right? And so Hindustan is the actual name of that country. That's why they still practice Hinduism, y'all. You know what I mean? And India was over here. And these are Indians over here with copper skin. Oh, those Americans, they still drive culture on the planet right now, y'all. And so the people who have our identity currently have casinos, and that's called hush money in English. Somebody who steals your identity have to have something to steal it.
I can't find this article.
Please find the article.
But
the casino is called hush money in English.
Here's the gist of the article, and I'll give you the overview, and then we can probably just run it back on Freestyle Friday. But
Eric.
It's basically the so-called Indian tribes now are basically meeting with the Biden administration to tell them, like, what y'all gonna do about all of these broken treaties. Like we had agreements with y'all that y'all did not honor, and
we were just talking about treaties.
And now there's an organizing effort that's starting to escalate to saying, look, y'all got to make these things right.
But the treaties weren't with them.
Hold on, they offered them $100 million in reparations, and they was like, no, we don't want that because the land was never for sale. Like, we want justice, and they deciding and defining what justice looks like. So whoever we identify as Indians or indigenous or whatever, there is a move in the country right now, and I think it's the Sioux. That's why I wanted to find the article, because it names the nations, because they're not tribes. They don't refer to themselves as a tribe. They refer to themselves as a nation, because they have sovereignty. They have land.
Yeah.
So which is what we talked about earlier. They put us out, but didn't give us land.
It's Jay-Z bars, man. Allow me to reintroduce ourselves, right? And we don't have to wait for someone to identify us, because people love to switch our identity. And so when they came over here as Indians, then in the 1800s they spent time removing our names as Indians to Negro.
man, they even changed who was Caucasian. Like that wasn't a whole. It wasn't just us.
No, but this is our land, though. And
when we do that, I'm riding that wave. I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm not against you. I'm with you. I'm building.
Okay, build.
It's not a contradiction.
It's going up.
It's an escalation.
I just understand that we don't need nobody on the double dutch with us right now.
Yeah.
So when we say black and brown community, like Brown has had 2 governors our lifespan. You see what I'm saying? That's Ron DeSantis, right? And also Bob Martinez. So Browns don't need help getting to be a governor.
Yeah.
We need help, right? But see, 1811, you fought us. 1810, you fought us, right? The Seminole Wars, and then you brought Florida into the Union in 1850.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? These are current events, y'all.
And then you talk about the Louisiana Purchase, but you don't talk about what Haiti's role was in that because
they needed to fund. They was out of money.
Yeah, it was like, no, they just ain't want to be here no more. After they got spanked in Haiti, they was like, y'all can go ahead, y'all have that. And that's what made the judge.
You talking about the West Indies?
Yeah. There you have it.
I'm just saying. You talking about the West Indies?
There you have it, man. And so, but talking about the way that we got black, the way we got race in America. Like I was just watching this, right, as a part of the study group that I'm in, and it was talking about the origins of race in America, and they were saying how white. Like it wasn't a thing either. Yeah. Like it was.
They united under that
Eurasian, and they united under the banner of white. Because it was like, okay, look, you Italian, you Irish, this. We all just white.
Spider-Man mean
right.
But
that's what they did.
The thing of it is, 100 years later, we don't identify ourselves as home.
Yeah,
that's a problem.
Yeah,
I don't care about nobody else being renamed and reclassified.
Yeah,
they're not being reclassified on their land.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? And it's to the point where. I asked the elder, he's coming out of the 60s and the 70s.
Okay.
I said, well, why did we settle for a color? He said, well, Reno, we'd rather be called anything but Negro at the time.
Here's the thing, too. It's a rallying cry. Just like how they said, okay, we white, and white is the one that's in charge, but you're a Negro. Negro is a minority. What did they have? Asians as minority. Like they had all of these other minorities. But to your point, those minorities were from geographies. Negro wasn't a landmass.
Like, that's what we got. We have to have these discussions, y'all.
It was nationality.
We have to stop and identify ourselves, y'all. You see what I'm saying?
Because that's when they came. When they came from Italian. So Italy. So they're Italian.
There were
they came
peace
from,
treaties. There were peace treaties. And that's how we got beat to this day. We're getting beat by paperwork, y'all. You don't sign peace treaties with anybody who's behind you kicking. Let's talk. Yeah. And if we were educated that Indians signed peace treaties, it seemed like we got beat on paperwork, y'all.
That's what this article is about, and so the articles.
Please find the article, brother.
It's going. I made space. I made space for the thing. But what it talks about is how after they signed the treaty, the American government added something to it after it was signed, and it's like it's not even disputed. Like the original treaty didn't have that in there, but this one do, and they saying. Like, what we gonna do about it? Like, we need to talk.
It's simple, too.
Like,
y'all.
we need to talk.
Who, Brother John? Watch this on the air, y'all. Brother John, you're beating them up, right, Brother John? Yeah. Just the ants. I don't care.
Okay.
Do you enter a contract to stop the fighting if you're the one doing all the beating up?
No.
So
if you're the aggressor,
why are we made to believe that we as Indians signed peace treaties with someone, and now we don't even know that we're the Indians 100 years later?
Yeah,
it's real sorcery going on. Yeah. Y'all signed peace treaties with people who y'all was beating up, and y'all was still in their land, or were you?
And here's the thing: if you getting beat, then you sign a peace treaty. But the narrative, and this is what Brother Donnie, the professor, when he come in, the dominant narrative is that we was losers and we had no chance and we couldn't defend ourselves against them.
But Slavic, y'all.
And then Haiti is lifted up as like the one example where we got it right.
It's all
like,
over,
that one time in Haiti, they was able to beat somebody, but that wasn't us. They beat the French.
Yeah,
like America wasn't being beat.
And this is what the Breakfast Club is all about.
When you have to come in and be like, okay. Let's talk about it.
Redefine it, y'all. We here to redefine what's cool, man. And when we become scholars in our aggressive narratives, then we're behind because we're scholars in their lies. You know what I'm saying? And that's a hell of a net to try to get it from up under. You know what I mean?
The minister said we have people who are graduating from colleges and universities with degrees in quotology.
Man, you got one thing about the degree
because you can record because they give you a list of things to say, and
these are talking points.
And whoever can say them the best,
scholar.
That becomes the A student. That becomes the scholar. But it's no critical thinking.
Push the envelope, y'all.
You got to think critically.
You're not thinking at all.
Push the envelope.
You're being programmed.
And the critical thinker is the one who's got his hand up. And then after that, he like knocking the pencil over. He throws.
Nah, the real critical thinker is
leaving. But no, you got this energy. You got this.
Everybody don't leave. Somebody say,
it's a spectrum.
Someone just be bad.
No, it's a spectrum. Yeah.
I check that. Let's check that.
I just put my hood on. I put my head down.
Physically.
Yeah,
check that. Boom.
Not stupid at all. But I just
by a long shot.
But I just know, like, if somebody was already here, you couldn't have covered it.
Yeah.
Check that.
Like,
I
just
in this future,
I just
and you can't articulate it,
and I can't argue with it.
And in this future, we don't. What we say is we was over here.
Yeah.
Because when we
say somebody
was over here, we don't claim ownership to the screw that going on over here.
And that we is not French.
Man, it's not French. It's W-E, y'all. You know what I'm saying? We the copper-colored people that are
it's still copper-colored.
Yeah.
Still
copper-colored.
Man, if you were a red-bone Indian, a red-foot Indian, 100 years we start calling it red bone.
Yeah.
But you got to understand that the ones who know that we're Indians, they got called Negro. Then they spent 100 years being called Negro. 1960s, James Brown generation said, "Say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud."
Yeah.
The question from that generation is why y'all fell for that. The answer was, Reno, we'd rather be called anything but Negro.
Yeah.
Because it was used as a slur on Indians.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So now that generation looks at us crazy because we just freely with the word Negro.
Yeah.
We're free with the word nigga.
Yeah.
And they cringe.
Yeah.
Because they know from their generation it's a slur.
Yeah.
So we go back to re-identifying ourselves. We're
so
the natives.
What does niggas come into that equation when we talk about language?
Niggas come in from the other side of the world because remember, our scholars were made to be African studies in the 1930s, 1940s. This course did not exist before then.
Right. And so
there's no such thing as African studies until the United States government got with brown men, Indians over here, and rewashed them. And then now we're scholars. I got tattoos of Africa on us, y'all.
Right.
We're missing the data of America driving the whole world. But when you and wake up, you'll recognize we still do drive the whole world. No one copies South Africans. No one's copying Nigerians. No one's copying the Aboriginal from Australia. But the entire planet copies us, y'all, to this day. So we have to understand, or shall we say overstand, who we are.
Come on.
We're being copied by everybody on the planet, the Americans. It's always been that way historically, but we get into amnesia. We look at Africa. They just discovered 300 pyramids in Africa. Don't care about that. You just discovered 60,000 of them in Guatemala.
Yeah, why not care about that too, though?
Because you've always been programmed to go that way because that's where you're from.
Okay.
When you're from here,
so,
and we're
so
still
you just
here.
throw it all away?
For right now, yes, because your identity is wrapped across that water.
Okay.
You're here.
So you can't do both and?
No.
It has to be either or?
Yes, right now, because you're identifying yourself. The story is we always forget who he is.
Okay.
We always get back together and then we always build on such a massive level. The get back together is the re-education part that we do.
Okay.
Currently, we're fighting for education. We always forget who he is, says the history. We always get back together. We have one thing that we build to re-identify ourselves in the future. That's a pyramid.
Here's a story that comes to mind when I hear that. I remember hearing about like this analogy about this man who was hit in the head and buried in a shallow grave, right? And you think about, I used to watch, my mama used to have me watching stories. And
the stories.
The stories. I watched the stories. And they used to have these episodes where somebody have a traumatic incident where they get hit in the head and they wake up and they don't know who they are. They call it amnesia. And so when you say we forget who we are, I think the other part of that is to not like it's just this random fight, like somebody intentionally watched you from like that knowledge was.
Yeah, I'm saying that, but
hit you in the head. Yeah, well, forget means that you once knew.
Yeah, we always gonna do this.
Yeah, like
we get bored.
We got a whole generation that never knew.
We get bored.
So to forget something, you had to know it at one time. Like
it's ancestral
DNA.
That's
a lot of us never even knew that.
That's right.
And we were just told and programmed, and we bought into what we were told and programmed to go with.
Easy, you know what I mean? But recognize the thing, man. Americans always wear locks.
Yeah.
Americans historically are the only people on the planet that wear locks. You know what I'm saying? Like as a whole. So when we look at the walls in Africa and stuff, they don't depict this. But when you look over in these Mayan temples, you'll see locks all on the walls.
Right.
So we come back every now and then, you know, and when we come back, we bring forth all the information that's been lied upon on the planet. I think it's about every 2,600 years. So 80 years ago, brothers in America weren't wearing locks. It wasn't time, y'all.
I hear you.
You see what I'm saying? Them people back. Them people come back every couple thousand years, and you just beyond the reality of it. So I might be far-fetched to you.
Right
100 years ago, brothers weren't wearing locks, y'all. 200 years ago, brothers weren't wearing locks, y'all. Were wearing locks, and them people wore locks on them walls because they're here to re-identify themselves to everybody. Have fun though.
Right on. And you see some hieroglyphs with some 360 waves on them too. I'm just saying.
Across that water. Across that water though. You don't see it over here.
Yeah, you don't see
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
But that's what I'm saying. If you are original, that means you be and have been everywhere.
Yeah, that's real.
So that's like so you saying, you know, either or. I'm saying both and. Like we everywhere.
Just change it around.
Y'all never there. We everywhere. You never there.
Let me help y'all with hogwash, y'all. We talking about some Pangea.
Like everywhere anybody went, they found us.
When you believe in Pangea, you what you're saying is we conveniently say we're gonna stay on the warm parts when they separate. It's just hogwash, y'all. We ain't thinking.
Let's take this call. Caller. It's what's on your mind Wednesday.
Hogwash.
hey, y'all going in, but
it's hogwash.
It's the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club.
The confusing part about it though is things was going on at multiple times, and that's the part that people don't understand. Like King Reed was just saying, like we weren't wearing. Of course, we was wearing locks. They was wearing locks over 200 years ago. That's how they came up with the story of Medusa. Those was dreadlocks in her head. They didn't know how to explain it, so they said they were snakes. She looked so beautiful that when you looked at her, you turned to stone. Not literally turn to stone. You can't move. You're frozen by your beauty. Yeah. When you look at those,
talk that talk, man.
Those Egyptians, they took their locks, or those Africans, they took their locks and they wrap them around their head. That's why when you look on the side of the pyramid, you'll see the lines drawn through the stripes in their head, making stripes in their head, and they call them aliens.
Mm-hmm.
But those are actually African people with their head wrapped in locks.
So they look like they got big heads.
Yeah, they look like they got big heads, but it's nothing but hair. And why this is going on?
People that
wait.
Talk that talk.
But why this is going on the other side? This is going on. These same things is going on over here in America. What is known as America. And before it wasn't discovered by Columbus. We already know that, but we ain't gonna argue about that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like you would be growing up in America. Your counterparts will be growing up somewhere else.
Right.
And we did get fooled into the idea of believing that we not from here. All of us came on slave ships. No, all of us didn't come on slave ships.
Right.
When they came here, it was some of us already here, because before they even came here, 200 years before, the Africans, they was already coming here. Columbus writing in his diary, the black one knows the way. The African knows the way. That's why he got lost.
Yeah,
it's in his diary.
Because he wasn't listening to the black man.
He
wasn't listening.
Well, he did. I
told you he wasn't.
He did. He had two Moors on the boat with him. They couldn't even get over this side of the world without having us on the boat. You know what I'm saying? But when we taking the factor that the largest pyramids on the planet Earth are here, then we were here doing something before we went elsewhere. When the whole 200 year diaspora is to teach us African studies, it gets us the Euro step here. You don't build the largest pyramids here and then go over there and say that's home.
What I hear you be saying is this: just like they building outside this window right now, they got another crane downtown.
Real facts.
Like they didn't have to. They didn't have to build this building first and then go build something somewhere else.
Most of the
like everywhere.
I hear that.
We was everywhere. Like
most of the destruction happened here, though.
We make it seem like it was like, okay, we started here, then we built. Like we was everywhere.
The largest population of black people outside of Africa is South America.
Like we was cooking with two hands. Ain't that what it like?
No, I agree.
Like it wasn't just like
we were globetrotters.
Right.
We literally walked, ran, floated, fly. We did it all. We like for real. We were globetrotters. They got tracks all over the world.
Let me just say one more thing. You
you wouldn't think that one dinosaur just stood in Africa and none of them came over here, or it wouldn't be oil over here and oil over there.
There you go.
Just
The
like the
dinosaur got the smallest brain, and it got sense enough to go from here to over there. You don't think the man got sense enough to chase the food from over here to over there?
At the same time. Yeah.
So
and before it was separate continents. It was one continent.
Hey, Yubi, go ahead. Finish that.
Yes,
thought process. I'm sorry.
And we have to land the plane in like 4 minutes. So you got
go ahead.
Post last night.
All right, Yubi, man, I appreciate you. Thanks for calling in, big bro.
I posted that last night. That was my caption, man. It's time to land the plane.
Time to land the plane.
It was so funny when I was making that post.
Yes.
And I'm saying, had the caption, land the plane, I'm dying laughing. This is my brother this is my brother phrase right here.
It just kind of works. It just
it's like believing do good.
I want to do a couple of these things though, because we have some headlines in there. So y'all come back on Freestyle Friday. We can talk about these other topics. So on Freestyle Friday, because it is some headlines, some information that we want to put out. Make sure that you get Duke Energy doing something crazy. So we want to make sure that you know about that.
No, that's the headline.
Duke Energy doing something crazy. So now it's a story about Duke Energy, but and I wanted to be able to plumb the line and really pull the string on it, but we don't have time to go into it. So we want to talk about that. But they basically been approved for $91 million to pass on the cost for the recovery from the hurricanes, plural.
Oh, so why the bill went up?
Yeah, so that's the other. Like I said, we want to talk about that. Like I can't answer that question.
I'm just saying that.
We can't.
I thought that's why the bill went up.
Yeah. So Duke Energy, we need to talk. And so we're gonna talk about rebate. we also we got to Ask Qiana, and I want Qiana to be here for it because the Ask Qiana on Monday was a husband writing in talking about his wife,
and this when the wife
and this when the wife is like, respectfully. So the wife, the husband wrote in. I mean, his wife just came home from prison and they're dealing with that. And so she writing saying they think I'm tripping, but they
burden.
So we can talk about that.
Tune in Friday, y'all.
Tune in Friday, man. And tap in. Like I said, we posting a lot of these events. There's opportunities for you to engage, man. And if you don't come to a community meeting, go under that tree, man. Talk with that old man. Talk with that old lady, man. Or talk with that young man and talk with that young lady.
Inquire.
And inquire.
Yeah. What I mean by inquire is send somebody there.
Yeah.
Send somebody there, and then they'll come back and tell you. Now they know they gonna go someplace and tell somebody the stuff they learned, and they gonna tell you, and you gonna be armed, and you gonna go the separate direction, and that's how two people do powerful things together.
And what I'm encouraging you to do is when you talk to your neighbor, ask them questions about what's going on in the community and get their thoughts. So like, hey, they having this meeting about this food action plan. What's your thoughts on that? And just start the conversation. Like you don't have to be in the meeting to have the conversation, but let's have these as topics under our trees and in our circles and in our spaces, in addition to the other things that we talk about. Because when I'm talking to some people, man, it's like I'm talking about gas plant, and they're like, gas plant? What you talking about, man?
Oh yeah,
like man, I ain't thinking about that. It's a real deal segment of our population that don't care nothing about what's happening at gas plant.
Those ones that got to pay their bills
because they got real life in front of them.
And the thing
people just got killed, people dying. There's so much going on.
Yeah, it's the majority of our people.
Thank you.
You see what I'm saying?
So
gotta activate them.
Before we go, I just want to give a big shout out to where you held me at Bike and Toy Drive.
Right on.
Donate bikes or toys. Sponsor a child in the Child's Park area. This event is coming up. I put the flyer inside of the comment section.
Okay.
Thank y'all so much. This is gonna be my parting words.
Okay.
And I'm gonna be at Urban Drinkery, man, at coffee shop, getting some coffee this morning. Come by, holler at us.
Right on. Final thoughts, King Reed.
Miss Peanut, man, 1 for 10, 2 for 15, 3 for 25, 4 for 35, man. They raised the price on my bowls, and I got a couple of my seasons that's they raised the price on. So I decided not to share that on my consumers.
You ain't passing it on?
I'm not passing that on. I'm gonna just go ahead and give deals during these times. So when it get rough on me, I'm gonna not pass that down and make it rough on everybody else.
That's right. Because most message. Yeah.
I heard we like love, Brother John. So I'm gonna continue to bring love to the table. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Why you don't go over there by them shoes master no more, man? They don't get no love over there.
Yeah.
So we love. Reno gonna keep giving love, man. Y'all, how about your boy, man?
And love is in need of love.
And
so send yours in right away.
That man did not exist in the Malcolm X story. He was just a part of the movie. That definition stuff. I was trying to fly here.
Yeah.
Bang did not exist.
Yeah.
His first cousin got him to the Nation of Islam.
Yeah.
And I learned that at the story on the killing of Malcolm X.
Yeah.
I'm out.
All right, right on. So there's more that needs to be done than needs to be said, man. We want to thank y'all for tuning in to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. I'm your brother John.
This is the one and only Mr. Edmund.
And man, it's Miss Peanut Holla.
And we out.